Welcome back, everyone, for part two of my great 2022 unboxing, or whatever I called it in my last video. For those of you who haven't caught up, do check out my previous video, which I'll link below and up here, in which I explain what I'm unboxing, why I'm unboxing, and this is really a quick top up to that episode. So without further ado, let's jump into part two. My first box here contains Prince Valiant 3-volume box set. I got into Prince Valiant quite recently, relatively speaking. Over the last couple of years, I picked up at first one volume of these Fantagraphics reprints, then another one. I really enjoyed them, but they were later volumes, and I wanted to start from the beginning. I also learned more about Hal Foster over these years and became fascinated with his drawings, and I was always on the lookout for these earlier volumes, which in single volume form were hard to get, but these box sets, for some reason, at some points of time on Amazon, were marked down like by 60-70%. So I did pick up 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. I think 1, 2, 3 is also over here, and I'm looking forward to starting reading the series from the beginning. I think I've read 12, 17, 19, so much later on. So 3 of the early volumes is what this slipcase contains. The Ballad of the Salty Sea, Corto Maltese from IDW. This is one of those volumes of Corto Maltese that just wasn't available in India. I think I have all of the other volumes that have been released so far, or maybe I'm missing one, but this was a big one, and a lot of people were very generous and offered to buy this for me and ship it to me, but the cost of it was quite prohibitive as things are. I was very happy to see that this was available on Amazon US, and I was able to get it at a decent price. This, I think, is one of the more famous Corto Maltese volumes, and this was published by another publisher. And so therefore, when Eurocomics IDW started printing these books, they decided to forego publishing this because it was so recently out there. So this has been something that a lot of people, myself included, have been waiting for as a sort of early, formative, important, famous Corto Maltese volume, and I'm really happy to finally have my hands on it. I will say that not everything over here is going to make it back with us this time. There are some pretty heavy, big volumes that I'll have to wait and see how I get back there, but there will be certain ones that I'm definitely taking back, and the rest of it is going to be a choice I'll have to make. I'm hoping that paperback volumes and smaller volumes like this will be easy to slip into the luggage somewhere or the other, so I'm thinking that I'm definitely taking this one back with me. The 3-volume box sets of Prince Valiant, they fall somewhere in the middle. But let's see what else I have here, because I don't quite remember, so there's always a chance that things get dethroned. I think I know what this is by weight and size, and yes, I was right. This is the other Prince Valiant box set, volumes 1, 2, and 3. I would say that both of these box sets put together, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, they cost me, because of the weird pricing on Amazon, they cost me less than 2 of these individual volumes at regular price, which was such an incredible deal that I just had to get it. Of course, now I'm in the situation where, like, how am I possibly going to take all of this back home? And that's one of the problems with buying in the US and having this location. After my last video, a lot of people said, you're so lucky to have family that allows you to take over their place with orders like this. And I absolutely am, but there is this other ridiculous side of it where, because I have that, I decided that I would get these. And now that I have these, I'm not really sure how I'm going to get them home, how I'm going to actually read through them in the way that I want to read through them and make the videos that I want to make on these. I do know that the Prince Valiant series of comics has been one that I've really enjoyed discovering. So I want to look at this. I do think these were great deals, and I do think these are fantastic volumes, and I love the love that has been taken to reproduce them. So I absolutely think they're wonderful items. I just wish I had a more practical solution than I currently do for getting these back home. Let's take a look at this. I don't know if this is one big item or a collection of 2 or 3 things. Oh, and this is full of packing peanuts. As I said in my last video, I'm not a big fan of packing peanuts, but this also indicates to me that this is probably one large item that is completely held aloft by these packing peanuts. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. It's a white box. And I think I know what it is. Here we have the Metabarons Deluxe Oversized Edition, similar to the Incal Deluxe Oversized Edition from Humanoids that I have made a video on. This is a book, a series that, of course, a lot of people have told me to check out. And because of my experience with the Incal, I was a little unsure, but after hearing so much praise of it, and some helpful people pointed out that this was on sale, an oversized edition, which is something I appreciated when I looked at Vincal in that format. I didn't want the shrunken down versions, and this was a good price for what it is, which is production quality that I already have some experience with because of the other box set. All of those reasons were the ones that this made sense that if I'm going to read the Metabarons, which I decided I would, this was the format in which to read it. Of course, now I have to figure out how I'm getting it home. This is where the game of choices will get really, really difficult. Well, let's see what else we've got competing. Okay, so there was another package, but that wasn't mine. It was there by mistake. Moving on, we've got something where I can tell, and I think most of you can tell from the size and handling of this what this is, but let's take a look at which one it is. There are a couple of such editions that I know are out here. And these are things, again, artist editions is what I'm talking about. Regular viewers of my channel will know that I love artist editions, gallery editions, those reproductions of original art portfolios. I just love looking at them. I return to them very often. And even though they're not made to be read from start to finish, any of them is quite a unique experience. So I'm always very tempted by them. They are, of course, very expensive, but I do have a soft spot for them. So particularly when they go on sale or when they become available at a, like a ridiculously low price, when that kind of stuff happens, I invariably fall into the trap of grabbing one, even though I'm always going to wonder how I'm getting it back home. Now, in the past, I've done this. All of the gallery editions that you've seen on my channel, all of them were purchased in the United States, and I took them back one at a time over various trips, or asked helpful friends and family to cart them over one volume at a time. And that's probably going to be the case for this as well. So let's see which one this is. Shell. Oh, it says so right here. This is the Bone, the Great Cow Race Artists Edition. You can see why this is not really something I could have resisted. For the longest time, I didn't even know that there was a Jeff Smith Artist Edition of Bone out there. When I found out there is one, it was just impossible to find, or very, very expensive, which is about the same as impossible. If I see something that has a price of, say, $100 or $150, and it's available, but for $900 or $800, it might as well not be available for me. I think I'll go a little over, just depending on how much I love something. But as soon as you're reaching that area where it is double the price or higher, for me, I think I'm not yet the kind of collector for whom that still means available. So here we have, that has a color border, which I don't think I've seen on any artist or gallery edition before. Most of the ones, if not all of the ones, have some form of beige or something. So that immediately makes it quite striking. And that blue continues at the back. This is a slim one, but already a really gorgeous looking edition. It's shrink wrapped, absolutely new, so I'm not going to open that right now. I'm going to save that for when we're back home with it. And these editions travel in their respective cases. They're great for shipping them and moving them in suitcases. So most of the time I'll throw away any excess cardboard and use clothes and things like that, but not in the case of the artist editions or the gallery editions, which come with very nice packaging. All right, the last two now. Oh, and now I can reveal for the first time on For the Love of Comics, we have my mother, who we are traveling together and is here. She's taking a little nap over there in the sun. Hello.
Hello.
All right, we have 2 boxes left, and these are both known quantities. This one, because of its size and weight, I'll talk about this in just a little bit. And this one, which is only smaller in a very relative sense. This is from Taschen. This is the first time I've ordered directly from Taschen, and it's because they had a ridiculous sale. Many people, well, a fair number of people I know on YouTube and on the For the Love of Comics Discord and in other online comments and discussions talked about the big sale on this edition of Crazy Cat, the complete color Sundays. If you're not familiar, this is a giant edition that is actually, even this cardboard is a carry case with the book inside it. This is something that as soon as I saw it existed, just first of all, because of what it reproduces, I'm a big fan of Crazy Cat, and everything I saw about it, of its design, of what it collected, and the way it was packaged meant that I had to have it. I would say that after or alongside the Usagi Yojimbo Grasscutter edition, this was the one thing that I was looking forward to bringing back with me, because I know I will spend a lot of time going over this in a way that it truly deserves. Again, I'm not opening the shrink wrap on this. There'll have to be a closer look at this eventually. And if you're one of those people who brought to my notice the incredible sale that allowed me to be able to afford this at honestly a price that's lower than many of the other books I've shown in these unboxings, thank you. Thank you so very much. And I'm very excited to have it. And finally, we have this gigantic edition, which once again was something that was brought to my notice by a viewer of this channel. Terrific sale on something that I hadn't really considered, but soon I had become familiar with Hal Foster. I had become familiar with Prince Valiant. And once I knew that I wanted the early stories, this artist edition became something that I wanted as well. But it was expensive, and so I put it out of my mind until it was brought to my attention, and here it is. From Fantagraphics, the Prince Valiant Studio Edition. In its own case over here, it's threefold, like the Black Hole Studio Edition. Oh, I have reverb here. And there we have. This is a recessed cutaway. It's inside the plastic, but I can feel it. This looks like one of the most gorgeous books I've ever seen. I thought this wasn't going to be one of the things I could take back with me, but we'll have to see what we can do. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there are about 5 or 6 pieces on the table right now, but the choosing is going to be truly epic. Unfortunately, I'm not quite done. There are a couple more packages still left, but I think for this video, that's all. Maybe there'll be a part 3, maybe there won't be, because we do have to pack and travel and things are going to be chaotic. But in case I don't get to make another one of these videos, I'm sure I'll be recapping it for you once I'm back home and comfortably settled down. Until then, this has been For the Love of Comics. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.